Aloha. Today we're going to talk about one of the most powerful techniques to shifting your life into a thriving vibration, into a better life, into raising your vibration and allowing more to be done in your life. And so this is a practice that I actually did at the beginning of 2025. And I took 100 days, no days off. And so the purpose of this is to build confidence, to shift an aspect of life into a greater version of itself. And also, if you hang out all the way to the end, like we'll explain a way that you can do this and also like some more benefits of it. So story time, essentially. But at the beginning of 2025, I chose to do 100 days of no days off. And within those 100 days of no days off, I was spending 100 minutes on tasks. And I chose three main tasks or three aspects of my life that I was mainly focused on that I wanted to work on. So taking my goals and then really dialing it in. Now, the 100 days off, this means that for 100 days, there's not a single day that was missed. And so I spent 100 minutes working on my body, whether that was either hiking or running or powerlifting, exercising of some kind. 100 minutes were spent focused on moving the body. 100 minutes were spent on creation, whether that was recording videos, editing videos, scripting, researching, and then 100 minutes was spent on learning. And that was between either me watching courses, reading books, studying Spanish, and so forth. And so I spent the first 100 days doing this, and it greatly shifted my life. So the main thing that happened with this, though, is the power of consistency. Now, we hear it all the time in personal development, or especially in the entrepreneurial world, about you got to be consistent. Consistency is key. And there is truth to that. But until you actually kind of apply it into it and live it, you don't understand how easy it actually can become. It might be a little difficult in that first beginning part of it, but as you do it, actually builds and begins momentum. And so this power of what happens when you stay consistent for 100 days, you stay and do something for 100 times, you grow so much. So whenever you do something for the very first time and you've never done it before, you're probably going to suck at it. But by doing something 100 times, you get way better at it. And so if it's something that you might already be good at or might want to improve yourself on or do more at, spending 100 days on that or 100 reps on that changes momentum greatly. And that's, if I was to pick up a 5-pound weight and curl it 100 times, by 80 to 90, it's going to start to get heavy. But if I pick up something a little bit heavier weight, of like 100 to 200 pounds, and I try to curl that 100 times, it's going to take a while until I can actually get up to that. And so part of this is picking a momentum that is doable, but also is pushing the limits. And so 100 minutes a day, like that was a lot for me to be moving my body when I was used to more, maybe, basic walking of 20 minutes a day, and then maybe exercising for 30 minutes a day. And I chose to do it in straight blocks. You could spread it out throughout the day, and I could have done like a 60 minutes and 40 minutes, but I would do it the straight 100 each time. And so part of this, also the power of stacking, is the confidence that builds in it. So sometimes we lack confidence in ourselves, or we lack the ability to do something because we have never done it before. But once we do it, we know how it is. But if you want to build ultimate confidence, it's build a stack of achievements, a stack of accomplishments that you can compare yourself to, that give you that raise you up, that motivate you, give you fuel in the fire, they give you fire in the solar plexus or fire in the soul to push forward and get things done. And that doesn't have to be a bunch of certifications or a bunch of degrees or so forth. It can be simply just keeping your word to yourself. Like, if you say you're going to get up at a certain time, you get up at that time every day. If you say you're going to spend 100 minutes studying Spanish, or you're going to spend 100 minutes learning, and 30 minutes of that is Spanish, and the other 90 minutes is courses and reading books, then you do that. And then day one, great. But by time you do 100 of those, you have such a stack of going, 1, I keep my word to myself. 2, look at the improvement that happened by being consistent. 3, the momentum is so strong there that you now know that you can accomplish anything. And if it's a tightness, if there's a tightness in the schedule of, oh man, it was really hard to fit in 100 minutes about this thing, you now know your schedule can barely fit that, which means that maybe you adjust and you give yourself to 60 minutes, but you don't know that until you push the limits, until you push to the edges of those walls. And then you build ultimate confidence in yourselves. So not only do you improve yourself in an area, you build ultimate confidence in yourself. And then by building ultimate confidence in yourself, you continue to improve. And by continuing to improve, you also trust yourself. And there is this power that comes with trusting yourself. And it might seem silly, but I know for myself, like there are times when I talk myself out of doing things, or I might agree to go somewhere and meet up with somebody, but then the day of comes, I'm just not feeling it. And, I might back out of it, and, or I make a goal to myself of like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to lose weight by this time, or I'm going to read a book every day, every week, for an entire year. And then that goal doesn't happen. We fall off on it. This happens all the time when people make their New Year's resolutions, and by March, they've fallen off of them. So by keeping it very consistent and stacking onto it, and this could be you pick a big goal, or you just choose to do an action. Now, as a result of this, we use the body weight lifting as an example. I lost 25 pounds in that first 100 days. And that was probably mostly fat and maybe a little bit of water weight, but mostly fat. And it was definitely needed. I had fallen off the wagon of being in exercise mode. And so 25 pounds in 100 days, wow, that's super amazing. Now, I did not set the goal to lose 25 pounds of fat in that time. I set the goal of I'm just going to exercise for 100 minutes. The amount of videos I edited and I recorded and content that I created is immense, and it's so great. And I have a backlog of it that I'm still working on editing. And some of it was for other projects, for things that are not for my own personal channel, but for other clients and things I have where I do video editing for other people. And it was great to catch up on all that and get all this stuff done. And the goal is not to get 1,000 videos recorded or spend 55 hours full of video recorded creation. Those aren't the actual numbers, they're just some made up ones. But the idea was to spend 100 minutes doing the task. So there is power, I think, in setting a goal that you want, but I think you can set that goal for yourself and you go, okay, this is the goal I want. Like for myself, like we use the weight example again of I want to lose a certain amount of poundage, but also be at a certain level of lifting weights and being able to run at a certain speed of like being able to easily run like a 6-minute mile, but also be able to bench 405 pounds plus and squat a certain amount and curl. I have all that written down. I'm not going to bore you with the details on that, but the idea is that for that plan to happen, I think it's going to take 2 to 3 years to get to that plan. But at the same time, instead of me focusing on here's the plan and here's this, it's zooming out and then saying, here's the big ultimate goal, and then zooming into the day-to-day. So to wrap this up and essentially is that for what am I going to do now? Like what is the next part of this and why am I even talking about this and explaining this is because of how much change had happened in those 3 areas of my life and how great it made me feel. There was this other side of it that not only did I accomplish things, but the way I felt day to day. The power I felt each day, the energy levels I had each day, the gratitude I had. I could say that I was in a peak state all the time, essentially, and living from a beautiful state. Rarely was there suffering. Now, that doesn't mean there weren't pain, there weren't hardship, there weren't curveballs in the business that came, or tough calls with clients, or a couple business propositions fell through and so forth. It doesn't mean there wasn't hardship, but I was in such an energized state that I was able to view it from a heightened state of being, from essentially being in peak state, from being in a heightened state of me, and even more centered way. I wouldn't say it was a full Kundalini rising, but I would say I was in that balanced, harmonized Kundalini state and able to view life as it came and be extremely joyous. And so what I'm going to continue is that, throughout the rest of the year, I've been kind of having the same program, but not 100 minutes each day. It's been a little less, 30 minutes in each of those categories. So I'm going to bring it up because I felt the best and I felt in my greatest peak state with no burnout involved within it. And so I'm going to continue that for 111 days for the remainder of the year, for 111 days that are left in the year, and then reanalyze and we'll see what we do for the beginning of 2026. But I'm going to choose the same 3 areas and continue that momentum on because it makes me feel great. It makes me feel amazing. Now, my challenge to you is to do the same. Now, you don't have to pick 3 things that you're going to do and that you're going to adjust yourself on, but you could pick one thing. That's what I'll challenge you is pick one thing that you're going to spend 100 minutes on. So, one thing, 100 minutes a day for the next 100 days that you want to improve. And pick something from the categories of like, is it your business? Is it your career? Is it your relationships? Is it finances? Is it your body? Is it something you've been trying to do and not something that you want to stop? If you want to quit smoking or quit vaping or quit drinking or something like that, I think that's a good goal. Hey, I'm going to go 100 days without this and see how I feel and set that. But fill it with a doing of something. So just going, I'm not doing this for 100 days. I'm doing this for 100 days. So then it might be, I'm going to go spend 100 minutes in nature for 100 days. I'm going to paint for 100 minutes for 100 days. I'm going to create music. I'm going to practice an instrument or whatever it is. Pick something, pick 100 days. And I would love to hear about it. You can drop it down in the comments down below, and I'd love to hear what you chose and diving into that. It just would be cool to see. And then, let me know how it goes. And then if you feel like you need accountability with this, or that you would like to go into like a deeper level of coaching, where you have group coaching with me, as well as courses, a community of like-minded people, you can click the link down below in there as well and come into the new program I have, or the new platform I have called Shift and Thrive. I'll see you later in the next video. Peace, love, and have a great and awesome day.